regular top 8 game. Oh, you gotta love that fist bump into handshake combo.
Absolutely.
Smooth. Anyway, yeah, this is not just your regular run-of-the-mill top 8 game. This is for the World's Championship 2023 in Tokyo, Japan spot for these players here. Oh, big start here.
Yeah.
Shifter chained by the field spell here. So, yeah, a powerful start from Ollie. And sometimes, maybe occasionally, this deck does sometimes struggle with a little bit of the consistency here, but picking up that unicorn and going to begin with our combo for the Kashtira deck.
And I think this is paying off a lot for Oliver this weekend, because we haven't seen our players relying on the Dimension Shifter in the main deck so far, while instead he decides to go for it, and honestly, up until now it is working very well, especially because like his opponent is unbranded.
Interesting point of deck building by Ollie Newton here. He's playing the Forbidden Lances in the main deck, which is a card that we saw sort of creep up at the very beginning of Photon Hypernova, and it seems to have come back into popularity here just because of the potential books, which many people have been main decking, as we've seen. Forbidden Lance is extremely powerful. If you go second and your opponent just activates Book of Moon on your unicorn, you're in a really struggling position here. So opting to run the 2 quick copies of the Forbidden Lance, it also can be used defensively if your opponent tries to attack over your Ice Heart, or if they have something like a Book of Eclipse going second.
Interestingly, here Oliver is also one of the few duelists using Tier 11 Kashtira, which he just added to the end. Nowadays, you just see the Scarecrow, I guess, but he's working out. The card is working out for him. He's playing both, and yeah, he decided to go for it right here. Gonna go for the greedy line, we could say. Makes sense in game 1. You don't expect many inhibitors, and obviously in the top 8, there is a great chance that you know what your opponent is on. So.
Yeah, a bit of a standard line here with the Rise Heart banishing Big Bang from the deck, and that will be able to activate the effect to chain by the Shangri-La to detach and special summon from the hand here. And also locking a card in the process, locking a zone. Typically, I suppose turn 1, there's either the scale is the option, but most likely knows what the opponent's playing. Putting it under the extra monster zone, although against branded, unless you're locking 5, it's not really relevant.
Absolutely. And yeah, we do see the Rise Heart, a couple of face downs, and that's it. Plays back to Eldlin, who really needs to fight back in this. One of the cards banished off the top I saw was a Super Polymerization, a nice tool, but unfortunately banished face down from the Rise Heart.
Yeah, there's a couple of ways that branded can go second with the Super Polymerization, aiding you to be able to access a lot of different types in your extra deck just because of something like the Fallen of Albaz or various Despia monsters that allow you to climb up into those powerful fusions from the extra deck. Now, the most important part of this duel will be, does Eldon have access to Branded Fusion, the heart and soul of the deck?
Okay, so as I can tell, he has the fusion deployment, which you might start things off with, but no, instead the Frost, a nice one. Not really popular in this deck, I guess, but with some new addition, such as, let me check, is he playing the Trap card or just in the side deck? The new fusion, no, it's not. So just as an engine.
Thrust is the first time we've seen this activated, I think, for our coverage so far this weekend, and we didn't really get to talk about it too much, but it is an incredible addition to, I suppose, the staple repertoire that players can often choose between main decking, side decking. Oftentimes, it's very likely your opponent just activates a card effect on their own turn, and going second, you can, you know, dig for either a card that you need as part of your engine, or you can go for more defensive options, as Eldon has gone for here with the talents being picked up, which shouldn't be too difficult to turn online here. Yep, there it is.
Is he actually playing Zeus in his branded deck? That would be a shock, but...
No, it's not.
No, right?
It's not.
Yeah. Okay.
Now that would be something. Yeah, stealing the Rise Heart.
But this is amazing. Yep, he gets to steal the Rise Heart. A response may be coming from Oliver on what seems to be impermanence. Okay.
Okay.
Why do you think he's using Imperm on his own Rise Heart?
No, the impermanence negates, but there is a shifter which gets banished. He probably just wanted to prevent the third material from being under there, I guess.
Yeah, to force out the Fenrir.
But now, as you can see, we are going for Cartesia.
And we also have branded openings, so there is the ability to get into Aliber for the branded fusion if so necessary. Now, typically, don't forget, there's a dimension shifter in play here. So every card will be banished. Branded opening has a nice little bonus effect in the graveyard to protect your fusions from being destroyed. But also branded fusion not being able to send to the graveyard. A little bit of a nuisance, but there's a lot of cards in the deck that do actually work quite nicely despite the shifter.
Yeah, remember that there is obviously the Fenrir alongside the planet, which means that once it resolves, you can use the effect to destroy another card thanks to the Shangri-La resolving. But let's see what Oliver decides to go for. Yeah, I think he's going for this Fenrir.
Fenrir maybe banish Cartesia face down to force that
Forcing
out.
it out. At the same time, it wouldn't obviously resolve, we can assume. But yeah, I think he allowed it.
You allowed it, right? Yeah, okay.
So now we see Branded Fusion, luckily not in the permanence column, and we are going to resolve that.
Yeah, that'll be a bit of an incident. Players have gotten very accustomed to not activating cards in the same columns as cards their opponent has set. Seen that happen a few times at the highest level at the YCS. But here we are with Branded Fusion, dumping probably a Tragedy, can get a search if necessary.
You can get a lot of different ways. Obviously, even the Mercurier works out.
Mercurier works, yeah.
Yeah, so you have a lot of different options that you can play around with the shifter being resolved.
All right, so most important of all is there's no Ash Blossom or response into the Branded Fusion. That is, again, the most important aspect of Branded. The ability to resolve this fusion is completely centralized around your deck's power. If your deck does not have a way to get to this card, it's very, very underwhelming here. So Eldon fortunate enough to pick this up here and just weighing up the options for what we go to. Notice as well that we are playing Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, which is a, shall we say, controversial figure in the community. There he is.
Very powerful card. We see Dark Magician in the top 8 in 2023, and I'm already happy. I don't care. I don't care. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
All right, all of these effects will be resolving in a chain here with their Rise Heart, discarding with Lebellion for a cost. Edge-Imp Chain as well being discarded. I think that should trigger when discarded into the Banish. And we are resolving the Lebellion, returning. There he is, Fallen of Alvaz and Dark Magician into the deck.
Yep. So Edge-Imp Chain needs to go to the graveyard, so
Here it
will not get the search.
Red Eye's Dark Dragoon showing up in the top 8 of the European WCQ 2023.
Amazing, amazing play from Eldlin here.
This face down has been here for a while. I'm probably going to assume it's maybe one of those lances that Ollie has been main decking. Hasn't really come up just yet. Yeah, Red Eye's Dark Dragoon should be able to destroy one card.
Yeah, but it seems like he's activating Fenrir now at resolution, targeting the Aluber. But Eldlin is not chaining Cartesia. Wow, and now we are gonna get to see the planet also potentially activated after the Shangri-La resolves. Let's see if that's the case. Yeah, it seems like Eldlin doesn't really want to interact with this. But yeah, as you mentioned, Dragoon, once it gets the chance, he can destroy a monster from Oliver. Yep, so the Cartesia is targeted from the planet.
Yeah, I think he activated the Lebellion, right?
I changed yeah, to just go for a fusion summon the Cartesia. Let's see.
Yeah, okay, that's what it. Yeah, so putting back the, or rather resolving the fusion with the Rise Heart, bringing out the Drake's Stability to be able to negate a face-up monster, placing a Predator counter as well, reducing the level as well, which is extremely important. Very powerful tool in the Branded deck here to remove those rank 7 access for the deck as well. Dragoon is still online, and there it is. Destroys and banishing the Fenrir, dealing a significant amount of burn damage in the process as well, by the way. Don't forget, he does indeed remove the life points.
And also, we have mentioned this before, with the Red Dice Dragoon on the line, I think it's very difficult to deal with that, especially because, I mean, now here I think that Eldin navigated this very well, being under shifter. And yeah, I mean, now here, yeah, I think it's, okay, Defender gets, but maybe Cartesia gets destroyed.
Yeah, we're just clarifying how that chain resolved here, because we did use the pressure planet.
Depends on what the planet targeted, but yeah, it seems as if yeah, it targeted the Cartesia to me, which would lead to it being gone. But I mean, I'm sure they will clarify it if that was the target indeed, or if it was a different one. But regardless, as you can see here, play seems to be back to Oliver. Yeah, I think they're just going through what was the target for Planet, which to me seemed like that, but maybe it was a different one and it just changed it to fusion someone with it. They're just trying to go through what happened there, absolutely.
Okay, so Ollie's playing out here on the turn 3, and you can see that he's picked up an Ash Blossom from his hand, which, you know, even drawing into Ash Blossom and not opening against Branded can be pretty devastating, especially since you do want to be resolving a Branded fusion turn after turn. Okay, so I think the pressure planet must have resolved by the time that the Cartesia resolved. It brings out Drixtapelia and then the pressure planet target. I'm not sure if that's... Okay, yeah,
it will be figured out now by our judges, but still here now it's back to Oliver, who is just considering whether to...
Okay, yeah, I can see that they've managed to catch this here. Fix the game state here. We can just jump on over after this has been clarified, and it looks like it. We've resumed play. Yeah, it does look like we're back in this now. Okay, yeah, Ollie's turn 3 here is underway now, and we're checking our banish zone for our resources, looking at our extra deck for any potential different abilities, different monsters that we can go into to clear up this Dragoon. It's quite a difficult monster to out, and we are trying to... oh, that's the negate of Dragoon. Yeah, all right. Yeah, so discarding a card to negate and destroy, also gaining attack points in the process now. So this is now untargetable and indestructible with 4,000 attack points. Shifter's also had its effect wear off at this point still, so that won't be a concern for Eldin.
And he passed, right?
Did he just
I think
pass?
Oliver passed.
Yeah, unfortunately, he passed back to his opponent. And in the standby phase, he will activate the Shangri-La to special summon from deck, which allows him to potentially use his planet again. Obviously not that great of a decision at the moment. And the Dragoon is there, bossing around this Kashtira deck, it seems.
Yeah, there's a really... it's very hard to out Dragoon for Kashtira. So Scareclaw, as you can see here, is one of the few ways to be able to out this. It actually has a pretty unique effect because it allows you to negate the effect of the monster while it battles continuously. It's not activated. Interestingly enough, it's one of the ways that you out the Pearly Noir because it is unaffected by activated effects, whereas Scareclaw is continuous. And so that's one of the ways in which Kashtira can deal with that. There's that Ash Blossom coming down on Patchwork. Last card in hand, which makes sense. We don't need to hold for anything here. And the graveyard's empty. We can't retrieve the Branded Fusion. We can't add back the card from our graveyard. So, yeah, there's not many options available to Eldin here. Just burn and destroy the Scareclaw, which thankfully has 0 attack points. So Oliver won't be taking any sustained damage here. But we will be attacking into the Shangri-La, protecting with its ability to detach.
Are you surprised at all that he decided to then...
I was going to suggest, yeah, because
now
he can't use any of his...
Yeah. No, what I mean is you can just get rid of the Shangri-La instead of the Scareclaw, right? Because the Shangri-La now summons from deck. Like, instead, what I would have done was probably leaving the Scareclaw instead, right? Which is more of a negative thing. now you instead get to search your deck for whatever. It could be a Unicorn, it could be a Fenrir. So I think I would have attacked over the Shangri-La and then destroyed it with the Dragoon, maybe. But
yeah, I think Elden maybe had a bit of a misstep there. Leaving your opponent up with a free special summon out of the deck is not ideal here, especially standby phase, searching out Rise Heart with the Fenrir.
And now it's Dragoon against the Ward with pretty much 4 cards in hand, and only Dragoon with no cards in hand anymore for Endlin. But I mean, yeah.
We're going to try find that out here, and there is a Rise Heart in the hand that we just searched out. Special summon, go for some rank 7 plays. Let's check out the extra deck. Let's see what we have as options here. Do we have any non-targeting abilities to get through this?
Seems as if it's going to be
looking pretty slim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to do it could also be, thanks to the Pressure Planet, you know, boosting the attack of all your monsters. Maybe you can find a way to attack over it by just destroying it by battle.
Potentially, but remember, Dragoon has also gained attack points from the negate.
I think only 1, right? Yeah.
4,000, yep.
So 500, I guess.
That's 1,000, isn't it?
1,000, yeah. So it's 4,000 at the moment. Yeah, this is definitely not an easy task, but there are some ways that you can go for this. One of them, at the very worst case, could be the Zeus.
Here's Rise Heart being recycled here, and remember, limited to 1. It's really hard to you know, maintain that Rise Heart, especially if it gets outed initially. So you have to do your best to recycle it as best as you can with the Theosis, I think that was. So putting that back into the deck here, and Shangri-La hasn't been activated this turn, so we can actually rank up into it if we need to at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the Zeus is the way you clear this, it seems, for Oliver, but at a very high cost.
Yeah, we do get to out Dragoon this turn, but at what cost? It will be a Shangri-La Crash.
It seems so.
And protection with 0 attack points. It's gonna drag Ollie down to 1,600.
Yeah, I guess they get 200 boost from the field spell, at least.
Sure, yeah.
At least.
Something.
It's something. Yeah. 3,800 damage, but yeah.
A top deck branded fusion would be absolutely really devastating here, though.
So it goes down to 1,800, I believe. And then in main phase 2, it will be able to finally go for this Zeus.
Which I think is the only way to deal with this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the main deck, I
check
can't
it.
really
Yeah,
see.
checking his extra deck. It's
it's
you know, I was thinking, you know, I mentioned the Pearly interaction with Scareclaw because I was thinking maybe there was some shenanigans you could do alongside Dragoon with the non-targeting. But there's nothing you can really use in the damage step.
This unfortunately means that all the zones that were locked are actually gone, and this set card reveals to be a Book of Moon, not even a Lance. So that might have been better than what we expected it. But now we go for the Tearlament Kashtira, as mentioned, a card that's not really popular in the deck at the moment.
Really wondering what the Kashtira Tearlament offers you.
It's
an
just
extra
an
way
extender, yeah. It's pretty much another name alongside the Scareclaw to extend your plays, but...
Tribute summon your card. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you know, you can do your old classic special summon level 7s for free, or just keep it old school and perform a tribute summon with your 7-star monster, removing 2 monsters. That works.
Yeah.
Very important here, though, because the Unicorn gets you the Birth, and Birth is an absolutely fundamental tool in the grind game.
No, well played here by Oliver.
Yeah.
Gotta give it to him.
Yeah, it's important, especially when you're depleted on resources here, to get access to Birth ASAP.
And especially he already recycled, as you mentioned, the one on Rise Heart, which means he has access to it again.
And we've used Shangri-La this turn, so it should be quite easy to rank up into.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking about the long game here, I'm just wondering if maybe Elden should consider conceding, or I suppose we're just waiting to see if we can draw Branded
final
Fusion.
top deck, this could be
picks
it.
up there.
Yes.
1 game away for him
Yep.
to get to that World Championship. Elden gonna have to perform a bit of a reverse sweep here, as we're gonna line up and go first. Does Ollie draw a Dimension Shifter? That's the question.
Oh, why does? Wow.
He's
Shifter Bell?
Shifter Bell Impermanence and Prosperity.
And I think also Fenrir.
okay, all right.
No, I
okay.
can't tell.
Okay.
Well, it ain't over till it's over. Elden.
Average and
What?
Yeah, like...
Weakest Kashtira hand, okay.
Are we not using it now, though? I feel like you really need to
Do you
use
think
it
you want to use it ASAP?
Yeah, you saw talents in the main deck, and if they can use some of the cards that sent, like for example the Albion sends for cost, I think I would shotgun it in the draw phase. But yeah, he's waiting, and let's see if he gets punished by this. Normal summon of CardEU though.
Can't quite make out if we have access to Branded Fusion in the hand here.
Oof.
Chain Dimension Shifter.
And here the shifter once again, an opening gets chained.
Okay, worst case scenario, there is access to the...
Branded Fusion.
Yeah, to the Branded Fusion. This is a really important chain as well, because the Albaz is now put into the graveyard.
No, but the opening is
Yeah, the opening should be banished.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
So most important of all, Albaz is in the graveyard here because it was chained, which is really important because I think he's got a Branded in red in the hand. But conversely, Oliver has drawn Bell.
yeah, it's gonna be a tough one, and now he gets to resolve the CardEU. Luckily for him, banishing instead of sending to the graveyard what is obviously his card, the Tri-Brigade, which will allow him to search his deck. The courier, we could say.
That was not an illegal fusion summon there. The Saranir and those should be banished.
Yeah, banished. Okay.
Are we
A little bit of confusion here.
I think he couldn't summon the Mad Dragon.
Yeah.
No, you can, and also those should have been in the grave. I guess Elda's just figuring out the materials here. Maybe he's overlay.
Now he's obviously gonna get a warning, and hopefully it wasn't. It was the first one for him, because otherwise this could be obviously upgraded as well, as we saw in the previous match. But it should be the first that he has received for this tournament, from what I'm aware of. Which means that he can just, transition to a different play now.
Okay, so the summon of the Mud Dragon was illegal, but do we?
Yeah, we can just go back to us in the meantime while they check.